Hello, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome to this bubbling pot of Egusi Ijebu. This is so yummy, so delicious, and one of the most easiest Nigerian soups that you can prepare. And did I mention that it was delicious? Okay, I did. Keep watching for the recipe and don't forget to subscribe and also turn on post notifications so that you are the first to get my video when I upload. These are the ingredients we'll be using for this recipe. Not a lot, but it makes a whole lot of difference. This is iru, also known as locust beans, and it is going to give you that depth of flavor and that, authentic taste for this Egusi Ijebu. Keep watching to see how I process this before we put it in the soup. I have here onion and tatashe. Look how small the tatashe is. Well, it is not in season and I was lucky to even find some. These are optional ingredients. You do not have to use it. I like to use it because it adds color to my soup and I really just enjoy that. This is my egusi, also known as melon seeds. I will not be using it in the typical way that you know today. I will be doing something amazing to it before we put it in the soup. This is crayfish. I don't think any Nigerian soup exists that we do not use crayfish for. Also, I have these dried peppers. I love using them for this soup. We're just going to blend it later on. We also have here some goat meat that we'll be using for this soup, and you guys know I love goat meat because of the depth of flavor it gives. We're going to use it alongside smoked catfish. The combination of the goat meat and the catfish takes this soup to another level. And then we have palm oil. Palm oil is going to add that sweet color. It's going to make it look a bit orangey, and I'm here for it. I'll start by boiling the meat. I'll add some salt, some beef stock powder, and I'll blend my onions. I'm blending my onion because I don't want it to stand out in this soup. This soup is supposed to be smooth and buttery, so you are not supposed to see any lumps inside, which is why I did that. And then I'm going to cover and allow to cook till soft. Now this stage is important. You are going to transfer your egusi seeds to a pan and then you are going to stir fry it for a few minutes. Don't put oil or anything, just your egusi seeds on a pan. What you want to do is to toast it. You want it to go from like light cream to like toasted brown, and as it is toasting you'll be hearing pa pa pa. You probably hear it in this video if you listen well, and then it starts giving this lovely aroma that lets you know that it is getting cooked. You do this for about 5 minutes till most of your egusi seeds are toasted. Now my egusi are toasted and they smell so good. Do not skip this step because it is important in making your Egusi Ijebu taste good. Now I'm going to blend everything. I told you that one of the highlights of Egusi Ijebu, what makes it stand out, is the fact that it has a very smooth consistency. So we're going to blend all of this together till it is smooth as possible. Now I've finished blending and this is the result. This is the texture I'm looking for and I am happy, and we will proceed to the next stage. To cook the egusi, transfer it to a pot, add some water. I use the water to rinse the bowl and allow it to boil. The consistency is supposed to be light so that it takes time to boil down. I leave the pot to boil a bit, and once it has done that, I will open it up and then mix it a bit just to make sure it's not burning, but there's actually no chance of that because as you can see, the consistency is very liquidy. So now I'm going to add some palm oil to add that color, and then I'm also going to stir it a bit. It's a very simple cooking process. At this stage, I'll also add my goat meat so that, the marriage between them can be good and beautiful. So the egusi will enter inside the goat meat and the goat meat will enter inside the egusi. When I tell people about this version of egusi soup, they are confused because they probably have not heard about it, but there are 1,000,001 ways to make egusi soup. And if you're someone that does not have a lot of these recipes on hand, you probably struggle coming up with meal ideas for your family or just for yourself. So make sure you download my 6-month food planner. That way you can see a lot of variety of meals that maybe you never think about, and you can have that. And then instead of stressing yourself thinking what I'm going to cook all day, I've already done the work for you. So go to the link in my description box and download it. Now that the soup has thickened, I'm going to season with some beef seasoning powder and some salt. You want to season it at this moment because if you season it earlier and the soup thickens, you can end up with over-salted food. So you wait till this point before you season. And also remember, if you're using stock like beef stock, there's extra seasoning in that, so use seasoning in moderation. At this stage, I'm also putting in my catfish. I don't want it to scatter, so I'm careful about how I stir. I'm just going to move it around gently. This is also the point with which this soup is going to get to the thickness that I desire. Some people like their Egusi Ijebu very watery. I like mine just a bit thick. So at this point, I'm going to add some beef stock and just to add extra flavor to this soup, mix it and then allow it to do the final cooking. Egusi Ijebu has its own distinct aroma, and as you can see, the texture is different. It is creamy. You do not need to add any vegetable. Vegetable is not a part of this soup at all. This is how it should be. Very simple meal, but very delicious. It is almost done now once you start to see the oil floating to the top. I present to you my Egusi Ijebu. I always love this dish, you guys, and this is how I like to see it. I like to see like the catfish on top, the dark catfish, and I like to see the oil floating to the top. It is so beautiful. It is so easy to cook, and I hope you guys try this recipe. If you do, let me know. Tag me on your post on social media. Send me DMs. I love to see it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!